XRP money.
It was a bit of a rough weekend in the world of crypto. Some of us are still reeling from this shitcoin we bought back in 2014 that is down 50%. But fear not, I found an...
So the US dollar is down 50%, but XRP is literally up 300x, even more, 400x. So if you put $1,000, you would have $400,000. Wow, that's a good investment. I would definitely do that. I would make a time machine and go there.
Infinite money glitch that you can use during times of uncertainty. First, you buy a WNBA ticket for $29.99. Then, you buy a blue dildo for $15. Next, place a max bet that a blue Candace Owens and get an update on labor negotiations. Rate the 3-week.
What's happening with this video? I do not understand. I'm trying to see the infinite money glitch. This is the part. So Paul Atkins, Project Crypto. Elizabeth Warren is a loser. She lies about everything. Like, they involve way too much politics into an XRP video.
Which will be the SEC's North Star in aiding President Trump in his historic efforts to make America the crypto capital of the world. The SEC will not stand idly by and watch innovations develop overseas.
That's the big issue that US had. All these crypto projects, again, they were from Europe, they were from Asia. Now, XRP wants to become the crypto hub. XRP, HBAR, all of that will get probably plenty of support from the US to become the big, strong, what everything basically needs.
While our capital markets remain stagnant.
We also saw this from USA Today. XRP is the smartest cryptocurrency to buy with $500 right now. This article says XRP is poised for growth, noting that it excels in fast, cost-effective global payments. It goes on to say that recent regulatory victories and the Genius Act enhance its appeal, making XRP a compelling long-term investment with strong potential for future gains. We also see this, which is pretty interesting. You can see that August 1st of 2017 and 4 years later in 2021, both kicked off.
So yeah, we kind of saw this 175x. Again, this is going to be harder and harder to reach. I don't think it's going to be 175x as people are calling it. Like right now, this is kind of crazy if we saw this type of run. But it would be nice. 175x would literally be like $600 XRP or $500 XRP. It's way easier when the token is cheap. Again, it's way easy to buy more food when it's cheap. When it's expensive, it's hard to buy. It's, kind of easy to understand. But I understand the point that people want a rally. They want to like have another hype rally.
X increase. And this is something worth paying attention to. Ripple co-founder.
So why most banks don't use XRP? Now, this is a point of video that a chain of blocks really explained well.
Explains why most banks don't use XRP. Ripple CTO David Schwartz explains banks' hesitation to adopt XRP, citing regulatory uncertainties, high compliance costs, and reliance on established payment systems. He says that despite XRP's efficient cross-border transactions, banks favor stability, but Schwartz is optimistic that future regulatory clarity will enhance XRP's adoption.
So yeah, this is what I've been saying. This is the biggest risk with XRP that can destroy it right now was no crypto regular clarity. And you literally had the price set in stone. When it was like that, it was literally 20 cents because there was no crypto clarity. The project was already underway. So we could be seeing prices go up as soon as those crypto bills get signed and approved.
Just wonderful.
All right, we're finally here, the moment we've been waiting for since 2021. The real bull run is kicking off. Deposits, open prize.
Billions upon billions of dollars in your first term, but you waited until your second term.
Yeah, because in my first term, I was fighting lunatics like you who were trying to do things incorrectly and inappropriately to a president that was duly elected. And we did do certain tariffs in the first term. If you look at China, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. But when COVID came, the last thing I was going to do is tell France and Italy and Spain and a couple of other countries that we're going to hit you with tariffs. We had to fight the COVID situation when that came.
What you see happening today is so far we're on a similar path where there's, again, no noticeable increase in inflation as a result of these tariffs. And in fact, Not only that, but we put out a report a few weeks ago about how imported goods were actually getting cheaper.
We started tariffs. We didn't know what they're going to be, and now we kind of know, and they're more moderate and thoughtful and more carefully done, and hopefully.
Yeah, so tariffs went from like the biggest bearish news, the crypto recession, market is starting, to literally pumping the markets because the tariffs got improved. So I feel like that the tariffs and all this, concern about tariffs is gone. XRP is in a great spot to see more improvement.
They'll help some companies export. Maybe some people move manufacturing back here. So, so far, so good.
With all the new information that has come out involving the Russian fraud hoax, arguably the biggest conspiracy.
Basic rights.
So one thing I don't understand is how much, this impacts. So I watched this video, but I didn't understand what this all impacts XRP. So that was my question, from a chain of blocks. So a lot of it is, good info like this one. We saw with XRP with the tariffs. So here with the CTO actually explains why the banks don't use it. I really like this clip because the transactions are there, but people still don't trust it because they have crypto behind it. And yeah, banks are going to take it the very safe approach. That's why I said XRP is going to take years before we see any real actual movement. So yeah, it would be very nice.
Everyone will make the city less affordable and less livable and less safe.
Somebody for the filling of the person that left, a woman left, as you know, who is I guess.
So yeah, it's pretty clear that right now XRP is growing, but once this government updates are done, finished, signed, that's going to be a easy 1x. Again, not financial advice. I don't like mixing politics into my channel, but this was a very key point from his video, is the one about why it is not used. Regulatory clarity. This is the biggest risk that XRP has right now, that's why whales are selling it. Because nobody trusts, something that they could potentially be gone overnight. So I'm not saying that will happen to XRP, but it happened to many other projects when they didn't want to work with them. They were gone overnight, right? And the money disappears, whoosh. So if XRP can fix that by building trust, that is what's most important in crypto, trust. That's where it could really explode. Because this trust you have to build up over 20 years, not 10 years. I thought it was always 10 years. And people are calling, XRP is going to explode. But the only thing that's stopping XRP right now is time, in my opinion. It needs to build, and it needs to show that it's not going anywhere, that the markets are not going to destroy it. The momentum is high, and people are happy to hear that. But yeah, there are some issues I see with XRP. There are negatives, because I only talk about positives. This is why XRP holders will become very wealthy. So let's take a look at this one.